You're watching SportsBeat.
We hope you enjoyed the playoff hockey tonight on SportsBeat. Kyle Van Noy's back in town. Former Utah State tight end Dax Raymond stops by the studio before this week's NFL draft. And we look back at RSL's best game of the season so far. But we start with the Utah Jazz. Game 3 underway, and after 2 games, it didn't look like the Jazz could compete with the Rockets. A 32 and a 20-point loss in Houston. Can they make this a series? They need to win tonight. The fans doing their part. Vivint Arena rocking tonight. Jay Crowder getting the start for Derek Favors. An adjustment by Quinn Snyder seems to pay off early. Jazz aggressive, forcing the turnover. Donovan finishes on the break. Seconds later, Ricky to Donovan in the corner. It counts, and he's fouled by James Harden. A 4-point play, and how about the fight? Jay isn't having it tonight. Jazz sending a message early. Rudy also getting involved offensively as well. Jazz up 15-12 right now in the first quarter. We'll update this game later on in the show. All right, winning a playoff series after going down 0-2 isn't easy, but it's not impossible. The Jazz have done it before. The last time back in 2007 against the Houston Rockets, if you'll remember. After dropping the first 2 in that series, the Jazz bounced back and won games 3 and 4 at home. Carlos Boozer had 22 and 12 in game 3, and then Darren Williams had 25 and Matt Harpring 17 off the bench in a game 4 victory to even that series. The Jazz dropped game 5 in Houston, but even the series again in game 6. Carlos Boozer had 22, and Mehmet Okur had 19 points and 9 rebounds, whose 4 of 7 shooting from 3 was key in a 94-82 win. The Jazz would finally break through on the road at the most important time. Game 7 in Houston. Carlos Boozer had one of the best playoff performances in Jazz history. 35 points and 14 rebounds. Darren Williams and Memo had double-doubles, and the Jazz stunned the Rockets 103-99 to win the series. Jazz are hopeful they can do it once again, and history will repeat itself. All right, now the rest of the NBA playoffs. The Nets-Sixers series in the East has featured all kinds of drama. Game 4 in Brooklyn today was no different. Game 4 gave us a fight. Really, a fight. Joel Embiid whistled for a foul on Jared Allen. Allen's teammate, Jared Dudley, saw something he didn't like. Then all heck breaks loose. At the end of this mess, Dudley and the Sixers' Jimmy Butler were ejected. Embiid charged the flagrant foul. This goes into the crowd. Could have been even worse. It went back and forth in the final quarter, down to the Sixers. J.J. Redick, off the offensive rebound, buries a 3 with 50 seconds left, giving Philly the lead. Down 1, the Nets all-star D'Angelo Russell to Joe Harris. He scores and gives Brooklyn a 1-point lead. Instead of one of the Sixers star players answering, it was Mike Scott in the corner with a clutch 3. The Sixers never trailed again, and they take a 3-1 lead back to Philly for Game 5. Nuggets trying to even their series with the Spurs in San Antonio for Game 4. They were in trouble, down by as much as 12, when they finally found their offense. Nikola Jokic had 29 and 12, and Jamal Murray 24, and he sends a message with the slam. The Nuggets outscored the Spurs 69-45 in the second and third quarters. DeMar DeRozan had 19 points, but his emotions get the best of him after getting called for a charge. He throws the ball back at referee Scott Foster. Series tied at 2, Game 5 in Denver. Blake Griffin back for the Pistons after missing the first 2 games of the series. They were desperate for a win in Game 3 against the Bucks. Griffin had 27 points. But the Bucks are so good. On a night where Giannis only scores 14, others step up, including Eric Bledsoe. 19 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. What a bucket. Brook Lopez had 19 points and 5 blocks. The Bucks lead the series 3-0. Reigning National League MVP, Christian Yelich, is continuing where he finished last season. He had 2 home runs against the Dodgers today, his 12th and 13th of the season. We're still in April. He leads the league in home runs and is 1 shy of Albert Pujols' record for the most before May. He leads the Brewers to a 5-0 win over L.A. Hey, what's better than a home run? How about an inside-the-park home run? You don't see those very often. Colorado's Raimel Tapia is just inches short of taking Aaron Nola deep off the wall, and it's a race around the bases, and he slides in safely at home, beating the throw. The Rockies are down 7-3 to the Phillies. Blue Jays and A's, bottom of the 8th. A's Josh Phegley pops it up to short left, and that's Freddie Galvis for the Toronto Blue Jays, making a spectacular bare-handed catch. That's your play of the day. The Blue Jays win big. All right, the NFL draft begins on Thursday. Dax Raymond expecting to hear his name called.
It's been in my mind for a long time. You know, I've been playing football since I can remember.
The former Timpview High and Utah State star tight end joins us in studio to give us insight to his draft prep, his NFL dream, and his time with the Aggies. From Timpview to Utah State and now to the NFL. Dax Raymond, former Utah State tight end, kind enough to join us in the studio. Wow, this is crazy. We were just talking, and it's amazing how fast time goes. I just remember interviewing you at Timpview High School, watching you ball out as a wide receiver with the Thunderbirds, and now you're here at this point. I mean, it's crazy how fast time has gone, but I look back on it, and I want to ask you, at what point when you were young did you think that this was a possibility? Did you not only just dream it, but believe it?
Oh, you know, I have a journal from the 3rd grade, and I actually recently opened it up, and I drew a picture of a football and drew an NFL, the NFL symbol on it. So it's been in my mind for a long time. You know, I've been playing football since I can remember. I mean, I can remember running around my house with my older brother, jumping on the couch, diving, making diving catches since I can remember. And it's been a dream my whole life, and it's unbelievable to think, it's close, and it can become a reality here pretty soon.
So as you look back, I mean, explain to people that don't understand the work you have to put in, the dedication you have to. What have you had to go through from the time you're at Timpview High School up till now to get to this point, to not just, make to your dream a reality?
Yeah, I think everyone would preach, just work hard.
Yeah.
But that's not only in the weight room, that's how you're sleeping, how you're eating. What you're doing off the field is just as important as what you're doing on the field. And I feel like I've dialed that in, and I really think that's what's gotten me to where I'm at today. So
Utah State, you had a great year last year. And I think a lot of people were surprised that you declared. It makes sense to me why you would, but how difficult was that decision after all the success you had last year, knowing how much you're going to have this year, to go ahead and make the move to the NFL?
Yeah, I loved Utah State so much. It was so much fun, and it was really hard to think, maybe I'm leaving my friends behind. But I think anyone that was in my situation would do the same thing, knowing that this has been a dream since I can remember, and if I have an opportunity to go for it, I'm going to go for it.
So what's this whole draft process been like? I love asking guys. Everyone's experience is different, so I want to get yours from the combine, pro day, everything. What's this been like?
So I'd say for me, this year, January, it was Senior Bowl. Getting that invite was huge, and so every day it was Senior Bowl, Senior Bowl, Senior Bowl. Went and performed well at that, and then the second that ended, I flew straight back to training, and it was pro day, or combine in February. And then the second the combine ended, it was just pro day, all of March. So it's been nonstop, just training, and eating, and sleeping, getting my body right. Now, finally, a couple weeks before the draft, it's my first time where I can kind of take a deep breath and relax a little and prepare.
What's the craziest thing that's happened through this whole draft process that you can remember that stands out?
Ooh, the craziest thing.
Maybe the weirdest question you were asked, or something you didn't expect.
I'd say the Senior Bowl. I thought, a bowl game. I was thinking, like, what are we going to do? What kind of fun events are we having? But it was interviews every second till 12:30 at night, waking up at 6 in the morning. And there's no time for any naps or anything. It was just nonstop, and it was a huge wake-up call for me. I was like, holy moly, this is, it's just nonstop. And there's just scouts everywhere. They're just drilling you with every question they can think of. But it was awesome, to feel like these teams are, they're interested in me.
Scouts have great tape from your time at Utah State, but I'm curious what you felt like you needed to prove to NFL scouts through this whole combine and pro day process.
I like to show that I am a more mature person because I had served an LDS mission, being 2 years older than the pack. I've heard some positive and some negative about it. Being older, your timeline's a little shorter.
Yeah.
But when I've had a chance to speak with them face to face, I can show my maturity and show that I can be a leader from day one.
And then on the field, what do you feel like you need to prove to them? At Utah State, you ran a lot of spread offense, so you didn't have a chance to put your hand down in the grass and go down and prove yourself on the line of scrimmage. Did you have to prove yourself in that area?
Yeah, for sure. At the Senior Bowl, I had 1 rep at pass blocking. And in one of my interviews with the team, they showed that 1 rep. because they said, how often did you do this at Utah State? And I said, that's my first time right there. So, you know, it's the NFL tight end is a little different than the college tight end, but I believe a lot of teams see that I have the potential to do it.
What's it like at this moment right now? We're less than a month away from the draft, realizing that this is going to happen for you. I mean, we all, when we were kids, dreamed this was going to happen, but for you, this is reality. It's got to be wild.
You know, I try my hardest to not think about it because if I'm laying in bed and I start thinking about it, you know, I can't sleep. So I just try and stay busy, just keep working, and, you know, just not think about it too much till it happens.
How did you, I remember in high school, you're a skinny wide receiver, and now you're this 250-pound tight end. How did you how did you transform yourself into the athlete that you are now?
You know, I have to give a lot of credit to Coach Dave Scholes. Now he's at Texas Tech. When I got home from my mission, I was a toothpick, and he taught me, you know, this is what you need to do with nutrition, this is what you need to do with your sleep, and this is what you need to do in the weight room, and you'll gain weight. And I trusted him, and he got me to this point.
And you talk about the discipline you've had to have. What's really the driving force? You talked about the dream being there, but you have to have some kind of motivation, some kind of factor that gets you to this point. What's been driving you all these years?
I'd say I am the most competitive person I know. Yeah. Lots of positives and, again, a lot of negatives with it, because if there's any sort of thing I'm doing where I feel like someone's competing with me, I have to win. And I feel like that's driven me since I started playing sports. I want to be the best I can be, and, you know, the NFL is the best of the best, so I want to get there.
Well, here you are.
Yeah.
We're just weeks away, well, even just days away from hearing how this is going to play out. Dax, congratulations on all your success. Can't wait to see where you land, and we're going to be following you all the way through in your NFL career. Thanks so much for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Real Salt Lake got out to a slow start this season. Just 4 points in their first 6 matches, a stretch that included a 4-game losing streak. But it looks like RSL has finally found their groove. 2 straight wins after a 3-0 road win over expansion FC Cincinnati, their first road win of the season. 36th minute. Albert Rusnak falls to the ground after a tackle, and this is what happened to his finger. It's not supposed to bend that direction. It's a good thing you don't need your fingers to play soccer, right? Because he was only out for about 5 minutes. Comes back into the game, and he does this. A rocket. 42nd minute, Rusnak nails this ball, opened up the scoring for RSL. He also put away a penalty kick in the 58th minute, finishing the match with a brace. 47th minute, Sam Johnson, acquired in the offseason. This is why they acquired him. His second goal of the season, scrappy goal off the rebound. That's 2 straight wins for RSL. Now back in the top 7 in the Western Conference standings. Season opener night for the Royals at Rio Tinto Stadium, hosting the Washington Spirit. They waste no time scoring the first goal of the season. 10th minute, Kristen Press breaks down the Washington defense. A great pass to Labonta. A blast past the keeper. It's 1-0 Royals. And that's how it would finish. They're off to a great start. 3 points at home. All right, do or die for the Utah Grizzlies, trailing the Idaho Steelheads 3-1 in their best-of-7 series. Joey Rattel opens the scoring for the Grizzlies tonight in the second period. Gives the Grizzlies a 1-0 lead, but then the Steelheads' James Phelan would tie it up. And that's the score right now. They're tied at 1-1 in the third. Major League Rugby Warriors in New York taking on expansion RUNY. Check out this run by Don Potty. It's tripped up, but New York doesn't hold him down, so he gets up and he runs and runs and runs. One more pass for the try. That was the play of the game for the Warriors, but they would lose again by 2 points to New York. Now 1-8-1 on the season. The Red Rocks season came to an end at Nationals on Friday. While the team didn't qualify for the final, they did have 2 gymnasts come away with honors. Michaela Skinner and McKenna Merrill Giles earned first-team All-America honors. Skinner earned 4 All-America awards. She adds to her school record for career All-America honors, which is now at 26. Merrill Giles finished her career as a 9-time All-American. Congratulations to both gymnasts. Utah baseball head coach Bill Kinneberg gets his 600th career win after the Utes beat number 12 Arizona State Saturday. Eric McGellis went 2 for 4 with 2 home runs and 4 RBI in the 6-3 win. Let's check in on the Jazz. More from the first quarter. Donovan warming up with the finger roll. James Harden's going to try the floater, but Rudy's there for the block. One of 4 blocks in the first. Donovan has 16 points right now. Jazz lead 40-37. We'll have highlights at 10.